Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Kashif Booth podcast. If you're new here, each week I sit down with a guest and we discuss their career so far, the highs, the lows, and what's next for them. Today's guest is the actress creative Leonie Hayes. Wait, have I said your name wrong? No, I haven't.
Amazing.
I was getting it right. I felt like it was Moses Hayes. Sorry, guys. It is Leonie Hayes-Moses, actress, creative producer. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Good. It's great to have you on the show. And it's been such, we were just saying, like, it's been a while since we've like properly caught up. So it'd be good to see how you're doing and what you up to, you know.
Definitely.
Yeah. So Leonie and I worked together on the web series Talia Versus. Can you believe that came out 4 years ago? Where's
Which
the
is
time
like,
gone? Yeah. Where's the time gone? Because it was in such like a bubble and it exploded, like it was everywhere. And then the film
yeah,
festival run was huge and insane. And then it's just like, oh wow, it's 2 years later now. Yeah.
like it's so insane because I remember it being in that weird week between COVID where we had no lockdown.
Yeah.
And I remember just being like, okay, go, go, go.
Yeah.
I even remember like there's a scene where I kiss um the guy
Oh,
who
oh
obviously had
yeah, that
an affair
guy. I
with.
forgot his name. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
that we have like us having an affair with, and I remember it being like a, do you want to do it? Because COVID and da 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 da, like we all done tests, we all done this, and I was
Yeah.
like, it's cool, guys.
Yeah.
I trust you lot have done your due diligence and you've been doing your stuff,
Yes.
so I trust it.
It's true because we shot that in peak COVID. And I remember the rules had just been lifted in a way, but then there was like
Mm,
rumors of a second lockdown coming. So it was like, oh crap,
literally.
okay. Yeah. And like we were trying to social distance and we did our
Yeah.
best, but like nobody got COVID. And to
No
me,
one.
and this might sound stereotypical, but I feel like it's proof of like who was in the room because remember it was very predominantly black production. So washing hands and wearing masks and So yeah.
That
But we're
part.
not gonna get into stereotypes, but I see those viral videos every now and again about
Yeah.
washing legs and anyway. So yeah.
Let's never go into that.
Yeah, exactly. But it was great working with you on that pilot. If you guys haven't seen it, like Leonie was hilarious with her on-screen husband Jamal in that whole
Yeah.
project, and like it was great working with you. And like I had known of you before that, so it was cool to kind of work with you in that capacity. So before we even get into Talia Versus, tell me about how you got started as an actress.
Well, I was a really, really shy kid, like ridiculously shy. And my parents are so not that person. Like my dad was in a sound system, so he knows everybody, he chats up to everybody, like he doesn't shut his mouth. And then my mum is like a little social butterfly herself. So when I became shy, my parents were like, we ain't got time for this. This is not what we do.
Yeah, yeah,
So they put me into drama school. And then I went to drama school and I went to Pineapple Studios. And then since then, I was like, oh, I found my people.
yeah.
I was like, oh, this is what this is. I said, okay, I'm hearing you all. I'm here. So I went to Pineapple Studios, did a couple of performances there, then went on to college, studied performing arts there, did really well with that. And then I just really threw myself in the deep end. I didn't have an agent, didn't have any of that stuff. I was just like literally reaching out to, I think I was on like Mandy, which was then, I can't remember what it's called, but it was called,
Cast and Call Pro. Do you remember?
yeah, it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
Carnival Pro, and then it went
yeah.
to Mandy. So I was on there, I was on Star Now, and then I was just like finding little gigs here and there. And then I also did a summer term project with what was then called G Hop, and it was like Stop the Knife Crime had collaborated, and they
Okay.
did like a summer program where I was the lead, and I was like this bully and drug dealer, and then it was all stuff, but
Yeah,
it did
yeah.
really really well, and I was
Okay.
just like, oh, this is something that I really enjoy, and it comes naturally, it comes easily to me. Whereas academically, there was a little bit of a little tussle, I would
Mhm.
say. Like I
Okay.
could get on with things, I could do things, but I wasn't like the smartest in the school class and whatever it
Okay.
would be.
Right.
I would be like, I'm smart, but I would struggle with certain things. Whereas, like, when it comes to creativity, I lit up and I was like, oh, let's go, we can do this. And it was
Mhm.
really naturally easy to me. So my parents were like, oh, damn, what have we done? I created a monster. And that's how I
Okay.
started with acting and stuff.
Nice. I love that journey. And it's so funny when you said your dad's in the sound system. So is mine. What's your dad's
Oh,
name? Yeah.
My dad's called Albert Moses, and he
Okay,
was
okay.
in diamonds. So your parents probably know about diamonds because
Mm.
honestly,
Oh,
he would
diamonds. Yeah,
travel.
my dad used to play that all the time.
Yeah. So
Mm-mm.
literally, and honestly, like it would be annoying. I'd be going down like the shops with my dad, and they would like so many women going, "Oh my God, Albert!" And I'm like, "Ah, chill out,
Yes.
relax."
Oh my gosh.
Okay?
Somebody can I can relate to. Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Because my
and I'm
dad
like,
is JB Crew, Charlie B.
"Oh,
That's
cool."
yeah, that's my dad. So yeah, all these little
Ah,
groupies around. I'm like,
they probably
hey,
know
like
each other
relax.
as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. They probably do,
you know what I
They
mean?
probably diamonds,
Honestly,
yeah. My dad always used to be at diamonds. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like honestly, I'd be
Mm.
like, all right, chill out. Like even now, people would be like,
Uh-huh.
oh my God, are you Albert? So I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I do not want to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Leave me
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah. And I find it also a little bit embarrassing. Like, it's just my dad. Like, he's just a DJ. Why
Yeah,
are you
like chill
people
out.
acting like,
Yeah, I like this little black man.
yeah,
I'm like, please, I beg. I
like,
love him
yeah.
to bit, but like me and my sister are like, oh my God. Like
Yes.
it's just a lot sometimes. I'm like, all right, Moses, chill out.
Yeah.
And he gets all giddy about it. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
get it. You're a little bit
Yeah.
famous in
Yeah.
West
Yeah.
London.
Yeah.
Chill
And
out.
you know them, they gallus.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
Ye- Listen, so that's really cool. I love that because I kind of grew up in the same way, like a creative household. Like my mom did interior design, she was a beauty therapist, like my dad's a DJ. So it's like I kind of grew up in that space. So a lot of people don't know this. I did do acting and singing when I was really young. So I did go to performing arts school and stuff.
Oh,
But yeah, but then
yeah.
pivoted behind the scenes. So
And I
yeah,
understand
so
that. I fully understand that because I realized when I was doing the summer play
mhm,
that I was so intrigued, like behind the scenes stuff. And I
mhm,
was like always in someone's face, like, what are you doing? What's this? What's part?
yeah.
And they'd be like,
Mhm,
girl, you're meant to be in front, like chill out. And I was like,
yeah.
no, but I want to know. And then I went to YCTV, which was in West London, and they
Uh-huh.
did a lot of production behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I actually love a bit of both. So I kind of now dibble and dabble in both
Okay.
because one, I want to be able to know that I can do things for myself. And I
Mhm,
think people like Michaela Cole, Issa Rae, their
mhm.
inspiration, and like Phoebe Wallaby, like they're all inspiration of how you can be on both sides of the camera
Yeah.
and actually create something incredible.
Exactly, exactly. And that's it's so important. Like I'm always saying actors that like you need to create the roles for yourself. Like there's so much rejection in this industry and sometimes you can't take it personal, but you do take it personal because it's like what else can I do here? But so you have to
Yeah,
create your own roles. You've got to write, you've got to understand the business of it, especially with the writer strike and actor strike last year. It showed you how much these studio executives are taking from us creatives, but like we're not making any money. They're making all the money. So
yeah.
that's really good that
And
you
I
learned that
think
early
it's
on.
important as well because, like you said, you can create your own roles. And I
Yeah.
think sometimes if you feel like you're getting typecast or you're not getting the roles that you want to get into, or you want to show a different ability that hasn't been explored yet by other cast and producers and stuff,
Yeah.
then you have to make those roles.
Yeah.
So I think it's really smart as well. I
Mm.
mean, and it's not as daunting as you
Yeah.
may think it is. I think a lot of people think it has to be this big production thing. And it's like sometimes
Mhm.
just put your camera on and create a scene, a role. It doesn't even have to be with anybody and figure it out. I
Yeah.
say this because I know that that's what I would do as well, even though I
Mhm.
haven't done much of it, but
Yeah.
that's what I would do. But I am in the midst of like right now, I'm writing a play that I'm looking to produce and put out and stuff like that. And I've been getting a lot of like
Yeah.
really good backing from people and just people being really supportive about it.
Mhm.
Like it's been incredible. So I've been like really
Mhm.
encouraging others to figure out a way to just create stuff for yourself because you never know.
Yeah.
You can't
It's
always
true.
wait for someone to give you the opportunity. Sometimes you've got to create it yourself.
It's true. And you kind of have been in those stuff as well, like with Talia Versus and Dear Jesus. Because that's where I first saw you in. And I was like, oh, okay. When you auditioned for, I think I ever reached out to you. I can't remember how it was. I was like, okay, I know you're good and I think you'd be good for
Yeah.
this. And so like what was Dear Jesus like? Because that
Oh,
was such a huge web series and like it ran for so long as well. And I feel like
yeah.
that era of web series inspired me to do mine and all the stuff I did. And they really opened the door like Sebastian Till as well. Like there's so many people who were in that
Mhm.
space killing it and look at them now. So what was that
Yeah.
like for you?
I loved Their Jesus. It was
Hmm.
such an incredible set and such an
Hmm.
incredible cast and crew. Like everyone was family. Like I still talk to the majority of them now. Like
That's so good.
I love those people.
Hmm.
And it's interesting because Their Jesus, I then also got through Mandy, and I think I got a Talia Versus through Mandy as well.
Yes.
And Danny reached out to me, who was the director and writer, and she was like, "Oh, I've got this thing. Would you like read for it?" And I was like, "Okay." And it was funny because I was at my friend Rochelle's house when I got it, and then the character that ended up playing was called Rochelle. So I was like, "Oh, look at that! That's such a
Yeah.
moment."
Yeah.
And yeah, but the cast was lovely. I think for us, there was a lot of do-it-yourself kind of thing. Like Danny literally would
Hmm.
write it. She would film it by herself, she would edit by herself. And I think she's also someone who really inspires me because she literally was like, I'm coming up with nothing. Like she didn't have a crazy amount of budget and whatever. And she was like, I'm gonna create something. And it really did like take off and a lot of people were really intrigued and interested in it.
Yeah.
And we had 4 seasons.
Yes.
And with the 4 seasons, we went to Atlanta with it because there was
Wow.
interest in Atlanta. And like
Hmm.
even that, we were like, wait a minute. And so
Yeah.
it was such a lot, and it was nice to have that moment with those people
Yeah.
because we all literally were
Hmm.
hands on, just really pushing it as much as we could, and we had a great cast. So
Hmm.
I absolutely love them, every single one of them.
Mm. I bet. Because I think sometimes it's like people, you deal with a lot of egos in this industry, you know? And it's like some people don't want to be like that, especially in the beginning stages of their career. They're like,
Mhm.
oh, no, it has to be paid, or I want to be, this and that. Or they try to take what somebody like Taraji P. Henson has said and apply it to like small indie roles. And it's like, listen, you're not at Taraji's level for you to be trying to demand or say this. Like, it's
Like
literally all hands on
relax,
decks.
baby.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah, and I understand like you don't want to do that for your whole career, but in the early stages of where you're trying to see what you can get out of this, then that's you kind of have to humble yourself in that aspect. But it's so great to hear that you did that. And I did that for a lot of my web series. My first one called Nate and Jamie is very much like that. Everyone hands on deck, working with the actors, and we built such a great relationship. So it'd be like, okay, oh, this line doesn't work. Okay, cool. I would give them creative freedom. Some people are very rigid and they're like, no, you've got to say this. But I'm like, no, actors are the ones saying it, actors are the ones performing it. So it's like you know how to deliver a line and what seems more realistic, when you're acting as
yeah,
well. So that's why I'm not that type of person who is upset when somebody ad libs or does an improv because it makes it better and the performances are better. So I love that. And I was a huge fan of their Jesus and to see where everyone is, like it's so good.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
everyone's doing so good. Like
yeah.
Kay right now, Kay who plays what did he play? Nathaniel was Jamie. Kay was my abusive boyfriend. I can't remember his
Yes.
name on the
Oh
show.
yes, I remember that
He was the
storyline.
abusive
Yes.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
He's like gone on to do incredible things. Like
Hmm.
he's now in a Netflix show. So
Yeah.
he's doing great things.
Okay.
Linda, who plays Mercedes, she's doing crazy, amazing things. She recently
Hmm.
was in Supacell, but she's
Hmm.
been doing like incredible things behind the scenes.
Hmm.
Like, there's so many people doing
Yeah.
so many different
Yeah.
things, and I just love to see it. And
Yeah.
I think what was so nice is that we're all really supportive.
Hmm.
And Dare Jesus was actually my first on screen
Wow.
thing that I did.
Hmm.
And I was really like, I remember going in there and I was like really big because I did stage. And
Hmm.
then Danny was like, I'm going to need to take it down. And I was like,
Hmm.
okay, I've heard
Yeah.
you. Okay,
Uh-huh.
okay, okay.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, but again,
Hmm.
everyone was learning on the go. Everyone was like really hands-on, supportive, encouraging. And I think I got the similar feeling with Talia Versus. Like Talia
Hmm.
Versus is one of my favorite set crews. Like to be on set with everybody, I
Hmm.
was like, oh, this is like, first of all, shout out to both you and Dead Jesus cast because when it came to lunchtime, I'm a foodie. So we went to this. We had proper food. I was
Yeah.
like, thank you. Thank you. Because like I've been on
Yeah.
sets and they're like, oh, we just got some sandwiches. I'm
Mm,
like,
mm,
this
mm.
ain't gonna do it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna feel
yeah,
hungry when I leave.
yeah,
But
yeah.
again, you guys were
Hmm.
so attentive. And
Yeah.
I think that's what's really nice and collaborative. Because
Hmm.
on both sets, like you said, I got the impression that it wasn't rigid, that I
Yeah.
could have a creative voice, but not
Hmm.
overstep. but
Yeah.
feel included in the creativity of it
Yeah.
all, which
Yeah.
was amazing. And I
Hmm.
got that from the audition as well.
Good.
So I was like, oh,
Hmm.
I really hope I get this.
Yeah. And honestly, because you know what's funny? I remember we sent out like what's it called? Monologues for people to audition with. And I accidentally sent you the wrong one. I
Yeah.
accidentally sent you the wrong one, but you smashed it. It was so
It
good.
was
Like
so
yeah,
funny to me
yeah.
because I was like, this is all they giving me. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, let me really go hard on these
Yeah,
two
yeah,
lines that I was given. And then I
yeah.
went and you was like, I remember in the audition, you were like, there's more. And I was like, oh, I didn't get the more. And you
Yeah.
was like, oh, my bad. And I was like,
Yeah.
no worries.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, can you come back in like half an hour? And I did. And then we did it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, fingers crossed, because I
Yeah.
really hope because again, I
Hmm.
am really big on energy. And I could just
Yeah.
tell that you guys are really
Hmm.
good energy people. So I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
have to get the
yeah.
part.
And you smashed it. Honestly, I love what you said about also the food. I want to get back to that. Because on my sets, listen, I've been on them sets. We have this dead food. I'm like, nah, black caterer, we need to eat right. And
Yes.
you see, I don't care. If we can eat your food, the white crew we hire, you can eat our rice and peas and whatever. And they love it. They love it. The jerk chicken, all that. I'm like,
They were lapping it up. I was like,
yes. Nah,
yeah.
it's important. I try to make sure, yeah, good vibes always. Because I pride myself on that because I want to make sure that my sets are inclusive and everybody's having a good time. I've been on set where, people don't want to engage with you. They're very clicky, or with my name, the struggles of my name, they're not even trying to understand what my name is, or they want to abbreviate it. And it's like,
Mhm.
nah, I've been that with people, and I want to make sure everyone feels included. And it's so important because once you have a good working environment, it's going to turn out great. And it comes
Absolutely.
off, it comes across on screen, and that was
Because
it.
everyone wants to work together and everyone's got the same motive, the same
Yes.
end goal. And I
Yes.
think that's what's really important. And I think for me, again, from every aspect of the show
Yeah.
of Talia Versus, I was like so impressed. I was impressed by the equipment, I was impressed by the crew, I was impressed by the cast. Like, and we all really did get along.
Hmm.
And like we had some long days and then we weren't like no one was funny. Everyone was just like when I say funny, I mean like no one was like acting off or anything. Like everyone's
Yes.
spirits, even when it started raining, was really high.
Oh, yes, it
I
did
love
rain. I
that.
forgot. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like everyone was really on high
Mhm.
spirits and really good spirits. And
Yeah.
when you guys come back with like season two, I was like, oh yeah, no brainer,
Yeah.
like no
Yeah.
brainer.
Hmm.
So yeah.
What was it like for you playing that role though? Because she was like that kind of stuck up, kind of bougie, kind of like relationship goals type person. And what was it like also? Had you ever been in a mockumentary where you had to like speak to camera like that? What was it like for you kind of acting in that way?
I never been in a mockumentary before, but I love
Mm-hmm.
them. Like I'm a big fan of The Office, both American and British one,
Hmm.
and all those like shows like that. Like I'm a huge fan of those. So
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, this is gonna be a ball.
Hmm.
In terms of the character, I got so much flack for this character because in a sense of like when people
Hmm.
saw it, they were
Okay.
like, so in Dead Jesus she was stealing, and now you're cheating out here causing heartbreaks. I was like, okay, like my cousin was like, can you not find a better role where you are a good person? I was like, you guys are misunderstanding my characters. Like, you're all flawed, everyone's flawed. But
Exactly.
I absolutely loved it because,
Hmm.
again, you can practice different things that you don't necessarily do in real life. Like, I've never sawn in my life, don't plan
Hmm.
to. But
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
what it's like to do it in Dead Jesus. And
Yeah,
with,
yeah, yeah.
like, with my other character, it was like,
Hmm.
yeah, I've never cheated, but like playing this character who
Mm.
is so like not even trying to be apologetic about it. She's
Yeah,
just upset that she got caught.
yeah.
But like, and she's just so like into herself. I just thought it was really
Hmm.
funny. And I
Yeah,
tried
yeah.
to like really amp that up as well.
Mhm. That's good. I like that. And I liked the point you made earlier when Danny was telling you to like kind of tone it down, like because theatre's so big and you got to project your voice and it's all about stage presence. How was
Mhm.
it for you like adapting to screen acting as well?
Screen acting was really interesting to me because I recognize all my like because we've all got our own personal things that we do with our faces and our bodies and stuff like that. So when I watched the first season, I was like, oh my God, why is my eye doing this?
Yeah.
Why am I doing that? What is that face
Mm.
expression? Da, 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 da. So I think for me, what I learned to do just to like kind of focus myself a bit more because I was a little bit all over the place in the first season. I
Hmm.
watched it back, which a
Okay.
lot of people don't watch back their own work, but I
Hmm.
was like, let me watch it back just to see. And then in the second season, third and fourth, I was like,
Okay.
right, I've got this down. But yeah, I think for
Uh-huh.
me, it was not a challenge, but it was a like an adjustment
Yeah.
because
Okay.
at first I was like,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it was like,
yeah,
no. And
yeah.
then like now that I'm like, it's funny because now that I've done more screen than I've done stage now.
Mhm. Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
having to adapt again because I'm like, oh, yeah, back up stage, we have to be a bit bigger, we have to be a
Yeah.
bit broader. But what I love about screen is that you can make those little subtleties.
Yeah.
It is about, you can do a little like expression, and
Mhm.
then the people are going to get it. Like the audience are going to get,
Yeah.
I know what she's doing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, do you know,
Yeah.
we have
Yeah.
our little subtleties that we
Hmm.
know what that means,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that it comes across.
100%.
Whereas stage, you have to do something a little bit more elaborate, which I still
Uh-huh.
love as well because it
Yeah.
gives you
Yeah.
discipline
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and it gives you like awareness of how you use yourself in your body to express and stuff like that. So I think I love them both, and they both give me different disciplines.
Nice. So after Talia Versus and after Dead Jesus, like what happened next? What did you do?
After Talia Versus, went back into lockdown.
Oh yes.
And I was like, let me chill. Like, I think I just took some time out, did a lot of
Okay.
meditation because there wasn't much that we could do, like,
Mm,
worked on my inner self. I think in that time I'd gone through a breakup. So I was like, let me figure that out.
mm,
And then I then went on to do a film called Sliding Away. And that I again just coming out of COVID fully, that was the first thing I auditioned for, and then that was something that I got, and I was the lead in that, and
amazing.
I was like really shocked because again I was like, I'm just gonna have fun. I'm just gonna go into this audition. I'm not gonna have any expectations. I'm just gonna have fun. It's my first time back in like in audition rooms. Let me just do that. So I did that, and I remember they called me in, I think, for like a second audition, the second rounds and stuff. And I was running super late. And I hate being late, especially
Mm,
for auditions and castings and stuff, because it throws you off as a performer. Like you feel flustered and just like bothered. And like traveling in London, it was just getting on my last nerves that day. So I was like calling, I was like, guys, I'm really sorry. I completely missed my slot. Like, I know you're finishing
mhm,
up in like a couple of minutes. Should I bother come or should I go? And they were like, no, please come.
mm,
And I was like, okay. So I went and then I did the scene. And then they were like, we really like it, but try not to give too much away. And I
mhm,
was like, okay. So I walked out feeling good, but
uh-huh.
like still being like, I done what I done. I'm happy with what
Yeah.
I've done. Whatever it is what it is kind of thing.
Mm,
And then I got the call like the day later and they were like,
nice.
we want to give you the role. And I was like, me? Like, oh my God. And I was like really chuffed
Uh-huh.
because again, it was my first leading role.
Mm,
And the fact that it was the first thing I did out of COVID. And you know, it was just like getting back into it. And it just felt really good. So I did that. And
uh-huh.
then I decided to take a break again because, well, again, I took a break. I decided, not COVID, because I was moving house. So I was like trying to juggle too many things. And I felt that there was a shift in how I was performing because I felt like I was coming across quite desperate for roles and not actually enjoying the role. And I was being a little bit too hard on myself and just doing things that I wouldn't enjoy while
Mhm,
performing or
mhm,
watching. And I was just like, I understand why I'm not getting these roles because I wasn't connecting in a proper way because it was more for, I'm just wanting to book a role than I'm into this character, I'm into this production, into this
mhm,
story and invested in that way. It was more invested in being like, I want to get a role, I need to get this, rather than it being something that it really drives me, which is the creativity side of things. So I took a break and I took a break. And then during that break, I also lost my grandmother. So there was a lot of like readjusting to life as I know it now. And yes, I took a break and just worked on myself, did therapy, which I absolutely love. I suggest everyone does it. And I think, especially as a performer, because we have to deal with rejection on what I would say a more frequent basis than most people. Because
Hmm.
most people have, like, I explained it, I was like, when you think about other people, they have a job that they've been in their job for like 10 years plus. They don't have to reapply for anything, or they don't have to have new interviews and stuff like that. Like, they get promoted and whatever. Like, obviously there's obstacles within that, but to get rejected on a regular basis, when you're thinking about it, you're going up for a job every single week, every single day, whatever, maybe twice a day, maybe twice a week, it gets a lot. So for me, talking through therapy with that and amongst other stuff
Hmm.
really helped me like understand who I was and just get back to that original like creative space that I needed to be in. So yeah, I did that and now I'm back.
Nice. Well, I'm happy that you're back, but I think it's so important that you do take a break. People don't do that. I've had breaks like that where I remember I was doing project back to back to back, and I took a break, and it was like the best thing that ever happened to me because this was like 2019 before pandemic. I ended up traveling. That was
Mm-hmm.
not even my plan that year. I got into festivals like in America. So I was like, oh, let me go to New York. And I met some people there and I was so inspired by them. And then I went to this other festival, the American Black Film Festival in Miami. And that was amazing as well. So it's like you've got to learn how to like create opportunities like that for yourself because you need to live life. Yeah,
Yeah,
we want to be like what's the word? Like grinding so much, but you also need to kind of just take a moment to live and then you can kind of
yeah,
grow like that. So yeah, that's so important. So it's really good that you did that
yeah,
and you're going to come back bigger and stronger. So I'm excited
yeah.
to see like what
I
happens
feel
next.
that way.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
feel like readjusted or
Yeah,
realigned.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like I feel
Hmm.
like, oh, I can, because I
Yeah.
think also what happens is you are so fixated on
Yeah.
I need to
Hmm.
get this career going, I
Yeah.
need to be this person in this
Yeah,
career, I need
yeah,
to
yeah.
be this huge star that you actually
Yeah.
do forget to live. Like there's a lot of people who and I'm
Hmm.
30, hold on, I'm 36.
Okay.
So there's a lot of things that I'm seeing like my friends and family and people that I know who are
Hmm.
exploring like having children, buying houses, buying homes, doing this, doing that,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
certain things that a lot of performers put on hold because they're so fixated on their career. This has to work out. I can't
yeah,
do this right now because I got to do this and I got to do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And I think it's important just to live life because I think
Hmm.
the more you live life, the more you can relate to different
Yeah,
nuances
yeah.
within life and
Hmm.
with people and with characters. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think you're
it's
right. I
true.
think it's a
Yeah, yeah.
must. Like you said, you got to meet new people. You
Yeah,
got
I got to
to
travel. I got to just have new experiences and like I was inspired by people and I was inspired by stories that I could then create. You need to kind of take that time in between. Now, for
Mhm.
me, COVID hit when I was ready to be all creative and create stuff. I was like, ah, shit, like what? But then, but then now it's like, and then I've had that was a break what I was forced to take, but then I did so much stuff what helped me all that groundwork that I did during COVID helped me to be where I am now. And like, so it does make sense to do that. And it is that kind of go, go, go mentality. And
Yeah.
like choosing to work in the creative industry is not for the weak. Like it
Let me
really
tell
isn't
you.
because listen, I was saying this on my one of my episodes recently. Like, we understand why our parents were like, "You ain't gonna go do that," like, because it
Yeah.
doesn't put food on the table. But it's like, yeah, because we would be having our own home, married, kids, or whatever. Like, we'd have that if we chose like a structured career. But then we look at that and it's like, yeah, that's
It
boring. I
don't
don't want to
feed
live that life,
it don't feed me. And it's so
Ah.
funny because I've tried like during this time of me taking my
Uh-huh.
break, I've been like, right, let me go and get a regular job. And then I've been twiddling my thumbs, being like, oh, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
This is not for me. And I feel like within those roles, I would progress quite quickly because I'm like, oh, we could do this, this, and this, and this. And my creative side will
Yeah.
be literally beaming.
Uh-huh.
And then they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then they want me behind a desk. And I'm like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, this
This
is
is
just
yeah.
not for me. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry, but this is not for me. And I've met incredible people around that time, but it's definitely
Mhm.
not just a choice. It's
Yeah.
like a passion. It's a reason to why I feel so strongly about creating.
Yeah.
Like it's
Hmm.
been given to me
Yeah.
this is something that's been put onto me, so I have to live it out,
That's
basically.
true. No, I get it. Because like I've been doing that film and TV production for many years and I'm like working day in, day out. And people might think, but that's your dream. But it's like, not really, because I'm bound to a company. Do you get what I mean? Like I like to jump into different spaces. I'm such a creative. Look, I'm doing this. I'm doing content creation now. I'm like so many different things because I don't want to just be put in a box as that. There's so many
Yeah.
things that I want to do and express myself. And so I don't want to be bogged down to a job that's going to limit me from doing what I can do during the day. So it's that as well. But then we
It's
need to,
just corporate side of things as well.
yeah,
It's still
yeah,
like, even though
yeah,
it's under creative umbrella, it's still
yeah,
very corporate. You still have to
yeah.
live up to certain expectations. You still
Hmm.
have to do certain things. You have to align. You have to be told to do certain things
Yeah,
by some people.
yeah,
Whereas, like, if you're living in your true creative
yeah.
capacity,
Uh-huh.
none of that is a factor.
Yeah,
Like, you may have to collaborate with people, but you don't have to get signed off by someone. Do you know what I mean?
exactly.
Whereas in
Exactly.
this situation, you do.
Exactly.
So I
Exactly.
hear it.
No. So what are some of your goals like for the next 5 years? Like where do you want to be now that you're back in this space of like acting? What's next for Leonie? Let's manifest some stuff?
You know what's so funny? Like,
Mm.
literally, this is how. So, like I said, I took a break and
Yeah.
then I was watching Supacell, which I have a couple of friends in it. Nadine Mills is in it, like
Oh,
one of my
okay.
friends. And like, so I knew about the show before it was coming out, and she was
Okay.
like so excited to everyone see
Yeah,
it, blah, blah,
yeah, yeah.
blah. And then I saw it and I was like, oh my God. And I emailed my age, well, I slipped into her DMs on Instagram. And
Uh-huh.
I was like, Nina, I'm back and I need to be in season 2 of Super.
Period.
So that was the kind of thing that I was like,
Mhm.
yeah. So watching that level of creativity really
Mhm.
like jumped me forward.
Yeah.
Plus, like I said, I've been writing a play that
Yeah.
I really want to, well, I'm going to be producing and going to be um, having theatres. Yeah, so like I even got a director, which I won't say.
Good.
I
Good.
go right there. I literally told him, I was like, yeah, you're directing this. And he was like, right, okay. It's like,
Yeah.
I've not read it. And I was like, you don't have a choice. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
that's
like
the thing, like
uh-huh.
with me as well, I'm part of a production company called Studio 44. And again, they're like friends who
Yeah.
had the production company running. And they
Hmm.
brought me in to do like a tester for a show that was creating. And I remember just thinking, yeah, I'm not going to be part of this show, but I'm definitely going to be part of the production. And I remember after the show, I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, guys, I'm joining the production crew. And they're like, what? And I was like, I'm joining. They was like, Lee, you have to, there's other people in the team. I was like, you do what you got to do. You whoever you talk to. I'm
Yeah,
joining
yeah.
regardless.
Uh-huh.
And like
Uh-huh.
literally, like I'm still around with them now and creating things with them. Like they've got a couple of scripts that they want to be working on. So I'm going to
Mhm.
be creative producing those scripts,
Great.
which I'm really excited for because they've got
Mhm.
like crazy talent. And I'm a bit of a buddy when it comes to them. Like I'm just like, guys, we could do everything. Like let's do
Mhm.
this. So I think for me, more creating. I
Mhm.
definitely want to do more TV or just do TV because I've not really done TV.
Okay.
Get back on stage is definitely one of my goals because it's been so long.
Mhm.
And yeah, just produce a lot more stuff. I want to
Yeah.
do a lot more producing on that side as well because I absolutely love it. Like I love creating something from scratch, from
Uh-huh.
literally nothing, just an idea, and being like, okay, let's see how we can make this into a physical
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So those are the things that I definitely see myself doing.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I think mainly that. So more producing, getting on stage, being in Supercell season 2 with some sick powers. I don't know
Okay.
what my character would be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like it's gonna be something cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that's just what I see for myself. And just helping others produce their projects as well.
Love that. I love that. No, I'm looking forward to seeing what you do next as well. Yeah, definitely. Huge fan of Supercell. I encourage everyone to watch it if you've not watched it, because
Watch
even
it.
Serafina worked on it as well. Like that's how I knew
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. From like way back, like when they were shooting it as well. So I'm just happy to see that. And it's like people have been saying this stupid stuff about it, but it's like this is the representation we wanted to see in terms of like diverse storytelling. Okay,
Hmm.
like stop complaining about one character storyline. Like
And
there's
the
so
thing, well, it's literally one character, and like, let's keep it a buck.
yeah,
That is still happening. Like, yes, we see it more on TV because that's
yeah,
what they promote on, like,
yeah.
with production companies or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But it's still a factor. Let's not act like it
Exactly.
doesn't something, and they're showing different sides.
Yeah.
It's not just, and that's why I personally love shows like Supercell and like Top Boy,
Hmm.
because it shows you the reasons behind to why they get to where they get to. It's not
Exactly.
just nonsensical things. It's like
Exactly.
you see the journey. Like, yes, it's violence. Yes, that's more promoted, but we also learn about sickle cell.
Yeah.
We also learned about, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you saw a nurse, you
Hmm.
saw a delivery driver,
Social worker,
so
you know,
social
like,
worker, you saw a guy who was struggling once he came out of prison, and he
yeah,
was like trying to reform and get back into normal life, and having that dynamic with his son. Like,
exactly.
we've seen so many different things. So let's look at the whole thing entirety. Like,
Exactly.
let's
Yeah.
not.
The whole love story, you guys just completely, I mean, the whole
Yeah,
premise of it is a love story, but you guys skipped over all of that. I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, the reason this is all happening because my man is trying
Yeah.
to make sure his girl don't die.
Yeah.
So let's
Black
just
love.
it.
Black love. Literally two
Yeah,
dark-skinned people as well who have a mortgage, nice
who are
car. I
gorgeous.
mean,
They
you
have a
skipped all
mortgage.
of that.
They got engaged. Like,
All of that. You just, that's all what you don't
living a
remember.
wholesome life.
Yeah. Okay. Like, listen, I've already done too many videos on this on my TikTok. So, yeah. So,
No, I hear
so
it.
I've been asking lots of actors this. So I'd love to know this. What movie or TV show would you have loved to have been in, which is like old or new? Like anything like that, film or TV show. Like, what would you wish you could have been in?
This is a really hard question
Mm.
because I wish I was in. I wish I was in Coming to America. That's
Oh, okay. Classic, classic. Yes.
like my favorite, and I think I could have played Lisa's sister. I mean, obviously I'm not old enough, but if I was old enough, I could have played Lisa's sister. She was
Yeah.
incredible, but I think I could also have done a little something, something.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um, show, Line of Duty.
Oh, very good choice. I love that show. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Love Line of
Yeah,
Duty.
yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah.
Like, brilliant show.
Mm.
And what was the other question?
Oh yeah, just that, like past
Oh
or
yeah. Oh, I
present,
was
like
gonna
or
list off
current
like
shows. Yeah,
seven
yeah,
things.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, nice. Okay. And like, are there any like writers who are like dead or alive or directors dead or alive that you would have loved to work with or still want to work with uh currently?
Oh, so many,
Yeah.
so many. I would love to work with Phoebe Wallaby because I
Oh,
think what she done with Killing Eve is
oh yeah. And Fleabag.
and
Brilliant. Like, yeah.
like yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Um, Michaela Cole because again, what she's done
Yeah.
with chewing gum, and then what she went on to do with This May Destroy You,
Mm,
like
yeah. Insane. Just brilliant.
insane,
Yeah. Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
Um, trying to think who else, who else. Um, actor wise, I would love to work with Leonardo DiCaprio, should I
Oh
say?
yeah, yeah, he's one of my favorite actors. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good choice.
And
Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
Mm.
Would love to, obviously, Denzel Washington. Obviously, my mom, Angela Bassett.
The Queen, the Queen.
The
Yes.
Queen. I would love to work with them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people. I think
Mm.
I'm just really open to a good story, if I'm
Yeah.
honest. If I'm attracted to a story and I think the story is incredible and
Mhm.
I'm like engaged by the character, then absolutely, absolutely would love to work with them.
Love, love. So where can
Yeah.
people find you to like check out your previous work and keep up to date with what you're doing as well?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really bad on socials. However, I'm learning to be better.
Mhm.
So my Instagram is Leonie Haynes-Moses. Moses like the one who parts the sea. Um, Haynes, Haynes, and Leonie, Leon with an IE at the end. Um, yeah, I'm not on TikTok. I
Mhm.
think it's Leonie one. I need to figure that out because I actually don't know.
This is why I just make my name everything everywhere. I don't have
Yeah, I
time to be
think you
making
know what
up
it
this,
was.
that.
I think I made two TikToks and now I don't know
Oh.
which is which.
Okay.
I'm like, y'all find me somehow. I think it's Leonie Haynes Moses. I
Okay.
think.
Just put that in Google, guys, and everything will come up. You'll see
Yeah,
all of
everyone.
her great work. So yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's it for now. I'm gonna be a little bit more sociable on my socials
Hmm.
because I think it's a must and it'll probably help
Yeah,
me
yeah. The
get rid of.
branding and all this, yeah, it's
Yeah, like
important.
honestly, I'm a bit old school with it, but I'm like, oh my God, but back in the day,
Yeah.
all I'm like, but Leonie, you don't live back in the day, babes. Chill out, relax your skin. Do good.
Honestly, there's so much opportunities that can come from being so active online. That's why I've been pushing it even more because so many, I'm seeing people who are younger than me. I'm not old, but I'm like, you're way beyond where I
Really?
am. And I'm like, okay, I need to kind of tap into this and do something because
Well, because
why am I
I
sitting here being proud? Like, oh no, I don't want to do that. When they're making so much money and
that part,
okay, yeah,
you
so
can still do it in a way
yeah,
that is still integrity with what you do,
exactly.
but it doesn't need to be like I'm not going to be doing challenges. I'm definitely not
Nah,
going
nah.
to be doing like when they're doing that challenge where they have to
Mhm.
see who gets something and then they eat the food and one runs
Oh
like
yeah, 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 I've seen that. No, 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 no. I don't care about all
food
that.
for
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely not. I'm not going to see me dancing.
Nah.
Absolutely not. However, I am, I'm going to say it now so that I have to be held accountable.
Yeah.
I'm going to start posting more on my Insta and my TikTok of my journey,
Mhm.
just so like behind the scenes, because I think everyone has this idea of like what actors like. And it's like, no, 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 there's a lot of lows. Like, there's incredible highs
Mhm.
when you get to the point where you can get to that high.
Yeah.
But there's also it's a journey, and like I
Mhm.
think not everyone's journey is the same. So it'd just be
No.
nice to showcase
Yeah.
that, especially because I decided to do the two difficult things of being like, I want to be a creative producer and I want to be an actor. Like, the only why you don't have for your damn self.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm
Mhm.
gonna start posting more about that.
Good.
And
Good.
just yeah, I'm a big believer in being like having goals. And I think for me, it's good to look back and be like, oh, I reached that goal. I said I would
Mhm.
do it and I reached
Yeah.
that goal. Like when I'm in Supercell season two,
Exactly.
I'm thinking like, we have
See.
that conversation.
See,
So,
exactly. And it's on record. Everyone's gonna see
and
it.
it's
You get what I'm
not
saying? Like we're speaking it into existence. Okay. And I'll be
absolutely,
working on season two. Okay. My
there
friends
you
worked
go.
on it, so no
And
point. And Rap Man, I've been shouting your show out for 8, say hit me up.
literally, like the amount of like
Yeah.
replies you must have
Uh-huh.
in his inbox from me, he's probably gonna like, Lord Jesus, this girl won't stop talking. And I'm like,
Yeah.
listen, I
Mm.
need to be in that season too
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
I was really
Yeah.
inspired by it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
makes me
Cool.
excited about it. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, it was great talking to you, Leonie. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It was so good catching up. As you know, guys, you can follow me all on my usual socials. And hay fever is killing me. Wow.
Uh,
And you can follow
like,
me everywhere. Not going.
honestly, I am drugged out when it comes, like, I'm
Same.
doing the most when it comes to April because
Yeah.
April really be trying. It has no beauty in
Yes.
the world.
Yeah. And now that it's hot today, it's like when it comes back even worse. It's like, geez, man. But yeah. But thanks again, Leonie. And guys, follow me everywhere. Then there's a bunch of socials. Stay tuned for the episodes coming soon.